Hey, it's Evan, and in this video, it is my second in a five-part series on vegan business, and we're going to be talking about restaurants and what to know before investing. And if you're new to the channel, I post different entrepreneurship as well as online digital marketing videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And if you like this sort of content and you found some value from it, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button as well as give me some thumbs up, give me some love, also in the comment section as well for what kind of restaurants are your favorite vegan restaurants in whatever city, town, or village or international where you live. I want to know where everyone's from and stuff, and I always find it interesting to see that other people are watching in other countries, which is really cool. So in this video, we're going to be talking about vegan restaurants, and I'll be posting at the end of this video a actual guideline of 5 tips to look out for when investing into vegan companies. So I'll share that at the end of the video, as well as I'll share different investing opportunities inside of the vegan community as well, and where you can look out and find different vegan investing and plant-based and cruelty-free investments, because it's trending up. As you can see on Google over the last 3 years, veganism has skyrocketed and it hasn't fallen. So it's not a trend, even though I looked it up on Google Trends. It's not a trend or anything like that. It's actually here to stay, and there's a whole bunch of government policy going in, and a lot of consumers are voting with their dollars now, which is excellent for more plant-based and cruelty-free products. And yeah, let's get right into it. So 3 things to know before investing in vegan restaurants, which is a really big niche. The restaurant niche is only growing. I live in Vancouver, and I think there's a new vegan restaurant or a pop-up every couple of weeks or something like that here in the Lower Mainland in Vancouver, Canada. So it's a pretty cool opportunity, and more people are going into plant-based restaurants and vegan restaurants, and more people are purchasing their food, and that's excellent. It's a great investment opportunity as well. So let's get into it. So like I said, there's increasing consumer demand. The restaurant industry in the US alone is multi-billions of dollars. It's like hundreds of billions of dollars. And I think millennials who are now have become the majority. They're more likely to eat out than any previous generation, as well as they're more likely to eat more plant-based and more vegan than any other previous generation. If you look at the demographics of veganism, you'll see that the older generation of 65 plus, they're a lot more vegetarian and plant-based than the baby boomer generation. I think that's more for health reasons and more for why they're still alive today, because they're more into vegetarianism and veganism as well. So that's why they're probably still alive. Why the boomers who are between 45 to 64 right now, they're kind of shrinking a little bit for their demand of plant-based products. And then Generation X, who are a bit more plant-based than their previous generation of the boomers, but the millennials, as well as the generation under us, Generation Z in Canada, Z in America, they're also becoming more and more plant-based and more knowledgeable now that information is freely available on the internet. The Canadian Health Food Guide just recently came out that actually advised against eating any sort of animal agriculture foods, especially processed meats. Not good. And so they're shifting more towards a plant-based lifestyle, which is excellent, because I live in a welfare state in Canada, and we want to spend a lot less on our health care. And when people are going for quadruple bypass surgeries and it's under our dollar, it increases taxes, which I don't like whatsoever. So there's increasing consumer demand inside of vegan restaurants, as well as vegan products that are served inside of restaurants. And just to segue into that, fast food chains using more vegan-friendly products. So here in Canada, in the States, I think this was with Hardee's or with Carl's Jr. or something like that. I could be wrong, could be something else. I thought they're kind of the same thing, but who knows? They've now partnered up with Beyond Meat to start serving the plant-based Beyond Burger inside of their restaurants. Here in Canada, A&W, which is kind of like the equivalent of Jack in the Box in the States, where you'll find it everywhere in any sort of rural area and stuff like that. They started promoting the plant-based burger from Beyond Meat in the summer of 2018, and they started selling it at all of their restaurants across Canada, and it just exploded. Not even just vegans going in and eating this, it was also a whole bunch of non-vegans that were going in and buying this burger and consuming it. And there isn't enough vegans out there for what happened next, but A&W actually had actually sold out across Canada all of their Beyond Burgers. When they initially, I think they got about till the end of the year or something like that, just to kind of test it out. So they had enough burgers till the end of the year, so about 6-7 months. But it sold out in about 6 weeks. Sold out in about 6 weeks, and so there's way too much demand for this product, and there isn't enough vegans out there to just purchase this burger and purchase it from A&W. There was a lot of meat eaters that were also consuming this burger and eating it and trying it out and going in and eating it a second, third, fourth, fifth time as well, that were regulars at A&W. And A&W actually came out, and I think they said that it was either even with their other top producing beef burger, the Beyond Burger, or it surpassed in certain restaurants, especially here in Vancouver. I think it well surpassed in the Lower Mainland, where I live, so the Greater Vancouver area. It well surpassed the actual next best beef burger that they had, which is the Teen Burger. So the Beyond Burger was actually beating it. And because there was so much demand for this product, it was priced first at $7.50 Canadian, which is like 67 cents US. Just kidding. It's more along the lines of like $5.50 in the US in US currency. But it was $7.50 first. But because there was so much demand for this, it actually reduced the price, and A&W actually got a lot more supply from Beyond Meat. So then it actually dropped by 50 cents. For a Beyond Burger, so which is excellent. But I always get a double Beyond Burger from A&W because one, it's awesome, and I love supporting the plant-based lifestyle and showing these restaurants and with voting with my dollars to show them that there is huge demand for plant-based products. But I also love it because I get the second patty. I think the second patty is only $1.50. Something like that. So there's literally no point. So $7 for just one patty, or it's $8.50 for two patties. I'm going with the two patties. But more and more fast food chains are using vegan-friendly products. McDonald's is coming out, already came out with a vegan burger, which will be starting to get rolled out into North America either at the end of this year or next year in 2020. So as this is filmed in February 2019, I think it was only rolled out in Scandinavian countries at a few random locations where you can get the McVegan, which is pretty cool. And so more and more of these big fast food chains are getting more vegan-friendly products. And so there's a huge investment opportunity for outsourced vegan products where these companies, they can't really like keep up with like the consumer demand, and so they have to actually purchase it from the outsourcer, like what A&W did here in Canada. They purchased it from an outsourcer like Beyond Meat, and they purchased that. And Beyond Meat is always looking for new, innovative, and delicious plant-based products. So it's great for vegan startups to be able to engineer and make an amazing meat substitute and a meat alternative, and just be able to sell to Beyond Meat, as their IPO is about to be announced either this year. So they're going for their IPO right now. So they're going to be a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange. And it'll either be at the end of this year in 2019 or next year in 2020. So big opportunity that's going on there in the restaurant niche for plant-based and vegan products. And more fast food chains are going with the consumers because they're in the business to make money. They're not in the business just to go into animal agriculture and cruelty and stuff. That's not their actual business practice, even though they don't really see it that way. I kind of see it that way a little bit, as well as other vegans see it that way. But they're only in it to make money. Tyson Foods is buying a whole bunch of they're one of the biggest chicken producers. They're buying a whole bunch of like startup companies right now that are more plant-based as well. So they're going towards where consumer demand is going, where government regulation is going as well, where there's starting to be a bit more tax breaks and maybe a little bit of subsidies, which I'm kind of against subsidies for plant-based businesses, especially here in Canada. I think Beyond Meat got a subsidy for one of their pea protein plants or pea plants or something like that. Which is another topic for another time, but governments are encouraging more investment into vegan friendly products and vegan friendly services. So that's why it's great to jump on this. It's not even too late to jump on this vegan bandwagon, because it's only going to keep going up from here. As it becomes more and more financially viable and financially accessible to a whole bunch of people across the world. And the last one is quick dine and food delivery. So this is very interesting and a very great investment opportunity as well into quick dine and meal delivery services that actually that actually have plans for vegan meals and stuff, because one of the hardest things that people do, especially here in the entrepreneurship niche, where I'm on my computer a lot of the time, I don't have a lot of time for cooking or anything like that. I just want my meals to be delivered to me because I'm lazy. I'm a millennial. We're lazy and stuff. But it saves a whole bunch of time. I think that I did the math where I had a meal delivery service for a week, just trying them out and testing them out. And I actually saved, I think, about 8 hours total between cooking, prepping food, and actually going to and from the to and from my grocery store as well. I saved about 8 hours that week, which is 8 extra hours of work that I'm able to put in. So, and another thing that people struggle with is that vegan food sometimes, like they say, it's expensive, but that's if you're buying the meat alternative stuff. Whole vegetables, whole plant-based foods is always very accessible, very cheap. And it's accessible to a lot of people. Amazon delivers, guys. They own Whole Foods, they deliver. So it's not a lot of excuses that whole vegetables and plant-based products are not accessible to people anywhere, because it is actually very accessible to people now. But there's a huge investment opportunity for quick dine and food delivery that shape into a vegan lifestyle, because I'm lazy, other millennials are lazy, and a lot of people that go into veganism, they quit because they have a hard time deciphering what food to kind of purchase and what stuff to kind of try out, and there's a whole bunch of new recipes that they have to do, and they get completely overwhelmed, and then they just stop being vegan after a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or something like that, because it just takes too much time for any sort of meal prep or anything like that. But these quick dine and food delivery and meal prep services are amazing because they choose all the food for you, they prep all the food, and it's a great investment opportunity for people that are lazy like me, because it saves a whole bunch of time, saves a whole bunch of like it saves money at the end of the day if I'm able to work more and spend more of my time actually on my businesses instead of meal prepping and doing all that sort of fun stuff. So that's a great investment opportunity as well into vegan restaurants. And for sticking to the end of this video, I'm going to be attaching a 5-step investment guide into vegan companies. It's a free ebook. If you go through that link, it's absolutely free. I'm going to be putting it down into the comment section as well as the description down below. And if you're interested in investing in different vegan companies and different vegan startups and putting your money where your mouth is, essentially, I'm going to attach a link. I partnered with a company called Vegan Launch, and Vegan Launch looks for a whole bunch of vegan startups across the world, vegan startups and vegan companies that are viable and profitable to invest in. So this is the number one way to make veganism more accessible to other people, is by actually investing into vegan companies and investing into vegan startups. Vegan Launch makes it incredibly easy, incredibly simple to be able to look for different vegan startups and vegan companies that are actually pretty profitable, because the trend is only going up with more government regulation being easing and more consumers spending their dollars on plant-based products. It's a very viable industry, and there's a lot of big companies that buy up these startups as well. So there's a lot of money to be made inside of the vegan investment community right now in 2019. So I'm going to put a link to Vegan Launch if you're curious about becoming a vegan investor. I'm going to put that link down there as well. If you have any questions about veganism or anything like that, you can hit me up in the comments. You can like this video if you got some value from it. Subscribe as well. And you can also follow me on Instagram at @thegilbygilbs. You can ask me any questions you want about veganism. I love talking about veganism and what kind of products or what kind of companies or startups are really good investment opportunities right now as well. You can always send me a message and DM on Instagram as well. And thank you so much for watching this part 2 of a 5-part series on vegan businesses and investing. And if you really like this, you can subscribe. I think I already mentioned that, but thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.